the various methods of analysis were briefed based on degree of static as well as kinematic indeterminacies. Now here in this lecture we are going to see one of the force methods of analysis which actually leads towards the matrix flexibility method of analysis. The method is the method of consistent deformation. Before going to the procedure of that as it is described in the slide in detail, we will see with an example what is this method. So let us concentrate here. We have a problem like this. This is a cantilever beam with an end support over here. This is a fixed support and this is a rotor support. And we know a fixed support arrests all degrees of freedom of this joint, and a rotor support arrests the degree of freedom or translation perpendicular to this direction, say along this direction, perpendicular to the plane of rollers. Rotation with respect to this axis and translation along horizontal along this direction are not prevented by the support. So if you find out ds for this case, it would be 3m plus r minus 3j, the usual equation. M is number of members, r is number of reactions, and j is number of joints. If you go ahead with that, you are going to get 3 into m is equal to 1 here, is 1 member, reactions 3 here and 1 there, so that is 4. Number of joints a and b 2. So this finally gives us a number equal to 1. So degree of static indeterminacy for the structure is equal to 1. That means if you remove one of these reactions, say either RB, the vertical reaction here, or one of the reactions here, the structure will become statically determinate. Now for illustration purpose, I have removed this reaction RB, or the support as a whole is removed, and the beam is drawn over here with the external loads only. W per meter is the UDL, that is a uniformly distributed load acting over the beam. Now this beam is drawn as two parts. One is the statically determinate structure, or you can also call as the release structure with the external loads, and the same structure with the reaction RB which was removed already. So this is actually principle of superposition. If you add these two, you are going to get back this beam. Now essentially, if you look at this picture, you can see that the displacements of these three structures would be like, if you draw the configuration of this beam, it would be of this shape. The translations and rotation of this end is prevented, rotation of this end is not prevented. So this is a possible deflected curve for the beam. If you draw the deflected shape for this structure, it would be like that. This is going to be a convex curve, convexity on top, and here you can expect a point of contrafluxure somewhere here in between. Initially it is convex on top, and after that it is concave on top. Here if you draw the deflected shape, this would be like that. Now if you define the deflection at this joint as say delta B, and deflection, the vertical deflection at this joint here in this beam as small delta B, actual deflection in this structure is equal to 0. So the deflections of these two split structures are going to give us a compatibility condition. The deflections at the joint B of this structure and this structure should sum up to 0, as it is seen over here. If you consider, say, this delta B since that is upwards as positive and this delta B since that is downwards as negative, we can write an equation like minus delta B plus this delta B is equal to 0. This equation can be called as the compatibility condition. Compatibility condition. Now, using this equation, you can find this equation, you can find out the unknown force Rb. That is the essence of this method. That is why we call the method as method of consistent deformation. Deformations are supposed to be consistent. Right. Now, how to find out this deflection? As we discussed in the case of strength of materials. If you plot the bending moment diagram of this structure, the bending moment is essentially a moment at a cross section, at a given cross section, which tends to bend the cross section. It is the algebraic sum of the moments of the forces to one side of the cross section. So, using that fundamental definition, the bending moment diagram for this would be like that. The moment of this force at any section is drawn in this diagram, and the maximum moment of this force will be occurring at this joint, that is equal to W into L by 2, W L square by 2. The bending moment diagram for this would be maximum moment here and zero moment at this joint, linear variation, this is Rb into F. Fine. To find out the deflection delta B, we can make use of the bending moment diagram and apply the area moment theorem. Here also we can apply the moment area theorem to find out the deflection at this support. If you go for that, the area moment theorem gives that the deviation of the tangents drawn to the elastic line or the deflected shape of a structure between any two points is equal to 1 by EI into the moment of the bending moment diagram between the 2 points with respect to the point where we take the deflection, we find out the deflection. That is, for example, here if you plot the tangent to the elastic line at this point, it will be a horizontal straight line. If you plot the tangent to this point in the elastic line, it would be like that. And deviation of these two tangents is nothing but delta B. Therefore, delta B is equal to 1 by EI into area of this bending moment diagram, which is 1 by 3 into L into W L square by 2 into distance of centroid of this with respect to this end is 3/4 of L. 3/4 of L. That will reduce to, you can cancel this 3 from here and here. So this is W L cube, no, W L raised to 4 L into L square into L. W L to the power 4 divided by 80. Similarly, for the other case, delta B, small delta B will be equal to 1 by EI area of the BMD half into length into altitude RB into L. Centroid may be somewhere there. Distance of the centroid of BMD with respect to end B will be 2/3 of L. So into 2 by 3 into L will reduce to RB into L cube divided by 3 EI. Now, if you apply this equation over there, delta B can be given, this delta B can be given a minus sign. So, minus W L to the power 4 divided by 8 EI plus RB L cube divided by 3 EI is equal to 0. If you solve this, you are going to get RB is equal to, well, 3 will go on top, 8 will remain here, there is a W into L. The reaction RB is equal to 3 by 8 WL. That is the reaction at the support. Once you find the reaction at the support, you can now find out the reaction at the support. You can find the reactions at the support and you can draw the final bending moment diagram. And before we close this section, a word on how to draw the bending moment diagram. What is the sign convention of the bending moment diagram? I have followed here hogging moment as negative. That is why this ordinate is downwards. And sagging moment is positive. This beam is holding under sagging and this beam is fully under hogging. That is why the bending moment diagrams are shown like that, drawn like that. And but the deflection downward is taken as negative side only in this equation, and deflection delta B is given a positive sign only in this equation. So that is in essence what is the method of consistent deformation.